everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Shellie Geigle with J&S Hobbies and Crafts, and today is a super quick and easy tutorial on how to make a checkbook cover as well as the removable inserts, which are our register. If you have the actual checks, you can always slide them back behind in there. This is magnetic. If you don't want to use magnets, you can create a band to slide on over your checkbook cover. So let's get started on this. What can I tell you about this? Other than the fact that these are removable, so when you need to make more, you can slide these out, you can staple this, put it in your files for safekeeping, slide in more. The pre-cutting measurement guide is free and it's available for download from my website, and that's also going to give you these. So there's a free little template back there, and you can print those out. And I just enjoyed working with this paper. It was very versatile. So in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this one. Let's get started to the materials list and what we needed. The materials of this is very minimal, and I'll show you the paper I'm using first, but you can use any paper, of course, that you would like. I chose the Dress My Craft, My Gentleman, and the reason why is because I get the best of both worlds in this. And this would be a good project for like craft fairs and stuff like that. But the paper is absolutely gorgeous, so you can go more masculine or you can get a little more feminine with some of the flowers in there or in between. So it's just quite beautiful. So let's go over the list of things that we need. Now on the materials list, I said to have, what, about 6 inches of 5/8 inch ribbon. You can also cut 6 inches of decorative paper and just kind of fold that in half. And that's what I'm going to show you in this tutorial, how to use the paper rather than the ribbon. The ribbon I'll also show you. I did this one here, which is quite beautiful. It's with the same paper, and I used the ribbon with the magnet for that. So really quick, what do we need? We needed 2 pieces of medium weight chipboard, and you can use, if you have 1 sheet of the medium weight 12 by 12, you can make 2 of these out of that. So 3 3/4 by 6 inch. These were our covers. You also needed a 1/2 inch by 6 inch, and that was our spine. So that's all on the pre-cutting measurement guide. You would want on decorative paper to cut your decorative paper. This one, the larger one, is for the outside wrapping. And this is pretty thick paper, and I didn't have a problem with anything as far as cracking or anything, but choose the paper that you would like. We cut our decorative paper down, the large one, that is the album wrap, to 8 inches by 10.5. We also had a second piece of decorative paper, and we cut that to 5 7/8 by 8 inches. And then of course our ribbon, we talked about that. And if you're doing your paper, you can do just 1 inch wide and by 6 inch and just kind of do that in half. Or use your ribbon. You're going to need 2 magnets for this. Woo! There they go. And that's for our closure. Now if you don't want to use magnets, then definitely what you can do is create a band to keep it all together there, or use nothing at all. 1 button, and I'm not sure if I'll be using this one or not, but I think I will. I've got glue all over me. Anyway, I have a button, and I took off the little thing on the back, so it's now flat. You need some elastic cord, about 14 inches worth, and what's left over you can either chop off or you can attach, which is optional, some little charms. And I'll be doing the little charms in mine. Oh, one other thing that you're going to want, and you will find it on the second page, is your check register. And I just printed this out. You'll want 7 copies of this page, and I did mine on regular photocopy paper. You will need some wet glue. We use a wet glue in this, but we also use a little bit of score tape, and the score tape is for the inside, so we don't get any bubbling up after wrapping and we fold in. Tools that you may want to have is a burnishing tool, like your little scoring tool there. You'll want your ruler, a pencil, some scissors, craft knife to help get the adhesive, the score tape, off the back, or if you do not have a heavy-duty little hole puncher, you would use your craft knife. That's it, guys. Let's begin. So let's begin with getting our album wrapped. And you're going to want to grab your largest of your decorative paper, and that was 8 inches by 10.5. And we'll just lay that down. Let's grab one of our chipboard covers. Now for this, we can use some glue. I'm not too concerned about this. After a while, these will wear out. I'm not using Tyvek, and that's fine because I like to change it up a little on mine. All we're going to do is place this one down on the right hand side and leave yourself at least 1 inch here, here, and here. And we'll center that in. So this one will be for the back. Let's grab our 1/2 inch by 6 inch chipboard spine piece. And we will apply glue to that. Now when we place this down, we're going to leave about 1/8 of an inch between our back cover there and this. So we'll just place that down. And you'll want to stay even there. For if you're using magnets, now this is the one that's going to be on the front. You're going to want to place your magnet now. If you're not using magnets, then hang tight. So I'm going to get that off. So I'm going to come in probably about 1.5 inches into somewhere in the middle there. And I'm going to place it. Now we're going to place glue on this. And we'll get some glue around there. Now, when you place it down, make sure that the magnet is over on this side. So I'm just going to flip it this way. Make sure I have about 1/8 inch spacing between that. And I'm lined up. And now we're going to burnish this down. And we will flip this over and do the same here. Just make sure that that's all down. Alright, the next thing we're going to want to do is carefully start trying to work the fibers of this paper. Now this paper is a little bit stronger than, like, say, your Heartfelt Graphic 45. So we're just going to give it a little bend here, and then we're going to take our tool. And it matters not if you're using this type or this type, but you'll take the edge over here and just kind of push. Then once you've done that, you're just going to take the flat edge and just kind of help it some and work that. And that's going to help us for not getting any cracks. Sometimes it just happens. So I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to give this a little bend. And I'm going to use my tool on the side. And then I'll use the flat edge to help it. Just kind of comb it on over. We're going to do that with this down here as well. So I'm just going to give it some bend. Help it out a little. And then I'm going to take my tool and run it along that edge. And then I'll take the flat side we'll do that up here too. Just kind of help it a little. All right, so let's kind of open that back up. Let's grab our scissors. Now we're going to cut at an angle, but we're going to leave 1/8 inch away from the corner of that chipboard. The reason why is because we definitely want to be able to tuck in that corner, so we get a nicer wrap. This project's also really good if you have scrap chipboard pieces. Let's grab our glue. We're going to start with folding in the bottom first. So I'm going to get my glue right there at the edge of that chipboard, over, and get some in there. Next, we'll just fold this right on up, and then we'll use our tool to burnish that down. Again, it doesn't matter if you use this or that. This is just my preference. We'll do that with this side too. This is just really easy and simple. This project is also good if you have leftover scrap pieces big enough. So I'm not going to worry about the glue seeping over because I do have to fold in the sides anyway. Okay, so this is where we're going to apply our glue, right there next to the chipboard. And get a little glue string there. And I'll just bring it up and over. Okay, so what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you here, you can take your nail and just kind of pull in the side there a little. And we're going to do it over here too. Just kind of press it in. And what that's going to do is help us from getting the pokies. And then we will wrap that over and burnish. And I like to press down my corners a little too to help it. We're going to do the same over here. Put some glue in there. And we'll be poking our holes into the spine there as soon as we get this part all done. So again, the side. I'm just going to push it in a little bit there, pushing it in a little over here, and then wrap up. And we'll clean up any glue that wants to seep out. Okay, do not fold your piece yet. Now let's take a look. For me, this is going to be the front. Okay, so if that's the front, I'm going to take this. This is my other decorative piece. I'm going to apply some score tape actually to this one, and then we're going to place it down. Now, if you want more of a border, you can chop it down a little. And I think I got my cut just a little bit off. There we go. Let's grab our score tape. Now the reason why I want to use score tape on the inside is less chances of this bubbling up. This is what's going to stick us down really good. So let's take our score tape and go all the way around the outside like a picture frame. So that covers our edges, and we know that it's not going to come up on the edges on us. The next thing is, let's grab this. Now, I want you to place this down looking at it and have it evenly centered side to side. Now you know that right here in the middle is where our spine is. So right in the middle, let's go down. And then we're going to put 2 pieces on each side of that middle point. So make sure that when it bends, it does not bubble up on us. And I will burnish that down in just a moment. I don't need this. We'll run one down here, and we'll run one down here. And we'll burnish that down really good. let's remove the score tape backing now. And it's time to clean my desk up. Okay, again, I'm going to look. This is the print I want in the front, so that's where that goes. And this is going to place evenly side to side, top to bottom, as best I can here. And then we're going to burnish down that really good, especially where that spine is underneath. Get all that air out from underneath that paper. Now once you've done that, now what you can do is place your hand down where it's in the middle where that spine is, and one under here, and carefully pull in. Okay? We're going to do it on this side. So now you can see you're not going to get any bubbling up from missing. Okay? So this is going to be a little stiff. Be careful if you wiggle yours back and forth. You can split out your spine area. But once we get the magnet on and this is used for the purpose, it will be just fine. So what you're going to want to do is, now that you can see your spine, is you are going to measure it up 3/8 of an inch right in the middle of that spine piece. And we will grab a pencil and make a little pencil mark. I'm just doing like a little circle here. And over here, 3/8, and place a circle. Now at this point, you can use your craft knife. If you have like the EK Tools heavy duty little punch, or maybe you have the We Are Memory Keepers, the crocodile one, or the big chomp, this is a good time for that. So I'm just going to use this and make sure I'm centered there, and I'm going to press. I love this tool. Okay, let's grab our elastic cord, and we're going to feed it to the inside. Now we have more than enough for this. So what I'm going to do is, when I pull this, I'm going to tie it towards the top. Make sure that it's nice there. And it will leave me a couple tails. The tails, this is where I'm just going to tie on. These are like made with love. Little charms. I'm just going to tie these on. And I'll tie it one more time for a knot. And clip off my excess there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just kind of feed it in and tie it up. Okay, so there are a couple of my charms in there. I'm going to set this off to the side. Let's grab our check registers. I'm just going to set all this up. So for me, because it's copy paper, I'm going to grab 3 at a time. I'm going to make sure that they're all going the right way here. And I'm going to get my paper cutter out, and I will show you. All we are looking to do is cut. And we're going to be cutting them the same so that we don't have one slightly more over than the other. So place this, my cut blade is here. So place this on your paper cutter. Okay, I'm at 10.5 inches here. So you would measure over 10.5 inches and cut. And I'm going to grab my other ones so I know that these are all going to be the same. And we'll keep cutting these down. So about 10.5 inches and cut. Okay, let's turn this around so that we can get the other side here. And same thing, except for we're going to be about 10 1/4 inches. We'll cut. Let's grab this other one, make sure that they're all the same. 10 1/4 inches now, because I'm putting it in the other way. And we will cut. Alright, we're going to place this on our paper cutter. And we are going to be at 8 1/4 inches. You're going to cut. So looking at your paper like this, measure over 8 1/4 inches and cut. So for this, we're going to be 6 1/2. So measure over 6 1/2 inches and cut. And that should not cut off your bar at the top. Okay. Now we need to divide these equally. 5 1/16 is what we're going to want. So measure over 5 1/16 inch and cut. Okay. This is the part that we need to cut off on this leftover. So we'll just turn it upside down, measure over 5 1/16 inch, and we will cut that. So now you should have them and they should be the same. I have these to do, so 5 1/16. This leftover piece I'll turn upside down, 5 1/16. I'm going to get this out of the way. This is where your glue is going to come in handy. So don't fold them or anything. So what I would like you to do is, looking at one like this, is just turn it so it's upside down. We're going to apply our glue to this so that our things are double-sided. The biggest thing on this is right in the middle, make sure you get a good line. Okay? And then just kind of fill in with a little glue. So that one's upside down. This one goes the right way. So we'll match up our corners. And then we need to burnish this down really good. If you get a little off, it isn't going to hurt anything. So there's our first one. We're going to continue doing this. So this one goes upside down. And then the other one goes on top, the regular way. Get right in the middle there. So that when we end up folding these, they don't pucker. So this one's the right way. We are going to continue doing that until there's no more sheets. So let's do that. If you need more after the tutorial, you can make more and do it the same way. So here's one side and here's the other. All we're going to do is fold these in half, and it doesn't matter which way you fold, because no matter how you look at it in the book, it's going to be this. When you turn the page, again, it starts at the top and so forth. So here's the first one, and we're going to keep folding it right in the middle. Your checkbook. So this is your checkbook, and a lot of times people like to carry their checks with them. So your checks will fit in the back. Just put it right on in the back there. We are just about done here. Okay, so I have all mine done. I'm just going to kind of, looking at it like this, is just keep feeding these in inside the other. Okay, so I'm going to go like this because my top is over here. But your checkbook, your checks actually, once we get this in here, and these are removables, and the reason why I did removable really quick, I'm all over the board here, is because when these are done, I can just staple them and put them in my file for saving, and then load in some more. So there is the checks, or the check register inside there. Okay, so this is the front of mine. Now you can use ribbon, like I said, and if you are using ribbon, what you're going to want to do, and I'm going to take you through this, is lay down your piece like this. So if this is the top and your magnet's right here, lay it down. Let it find itself. Okay? What you're going to then do is place some glue, fabric glue, whatever type of glue you'd like to use. Make sure you get glue on this area, and then you will fold this over the top so it gets glued down. Then what you're going to do is, if you need more room in there, you'll open it up, but you'll just leave a little bit of spacing there. You'll cut off your excess back here, and you'll glue that to the back. I don't like mine gaping that much. I like mine like that. So just a little bit. And then you'll glue that down. Next, what you'll do is glue your button right over the top, like that. Those of you that are using the paper. Okay, what you're going to do is place your piece. You've folded it in half, and here is the fold part. Find the center there, how far down that you want to come down. And we're going to place a little glue there. We're going to remove this. And we're going to, now that we know where that's supposed to be, we can just take that right off. And we're going to apply glue in the crease and around on the edges. And we will bring this over even. Just make sure you burnish down and get your sides down together. Okay, once you have that done there, you'll place that on. Find how much space that you want. Like for me, it's going to be smaller. And you're going to bend this over. Okay, find that bend. And you will do the same once you have it where you want it. And you will bend it in the back where you want it. So that's about as much space as I want there. And you'll glue this part down. If you don't want to use a button, you do not have to. You'll want to make sure that that definitely gets glued down there instead of moving around. And then you can place your button. And give it some time to glue down there. So once your button is completely glued down in your back, you can flip that out. And these little charms, I thought that would be kind of neat to have. And make sure my thing didn't. And the reason why is if you're on a particular page, let's say you're 2 pages in here, you can always drape that there for a bookmark. And I gotta get my button to glue down. I'm gonna have to give that some time. So there it is. That is all there is to it. And I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. Happy crafting, everybody, and I will see you next time on my mini album tutorial.